filed with the Ontario Superior Court of Justice, and we appreciate your time and attention. Before we begin, I would like to acknowledge that the land we are meeting on is the traditional territory of many nations, including the Mississaugas of the Credit, the Anishinaabe, the Chippewa, the Haudenosaunee, and the Wendat peoples. It is home to many diverse First Nations, Inuit, and Métis peoples. We also acknowledge that Toronto is covered by Treaty 13 with the Mississaugas of the Credit. We ask that you hold your questions until the end. Now let's get started. I'm Krista Carr, Executive Vice President of Inclusion Canada. We are here today because of an appalling injustice taking place in our country. Today, Inclusion Canada, alongside the Council of Canadians with Disabilities, Indigenous Disability Canada, British Columbia Aboriginal Network on Disability Society, Dawn Canada, and 2 individual plaintiffs are launching a charter challenge against the federal government's expansion of medical assistance in dying under Bill C-7, specifically Track 2 MAiD. We are united because the very lives of people with disabilities are at stake. Let me be blunt. By allowing assisted suicide solely on the basis of disability, our government is telling Canadians with disabilities, and for that matter, all Canadians, that their lives are less valuable, that their suffering is best relieved by death rather than support. This is not just wrong, it's discriminatory, and it violates our most fundamental rights. Under the Canadian Charter of Rights and Freedoms, every individual is equal before and under the law. Yet the expanded MAiD law singles out people with disabilities, making them eligible for assisted death even when they are not otherwise dying. Canada doesn't offer assisted suicide to any other group, no matter how much they might be suffering. Think about that. If someone with a disability is suffering, be it from poverty, inadequate health care, lack of housing, or struggling to survive, we offer them support, resources, and hope. But if you're a person with a disability experiencing the same or even greater suffering, the government now offers you the option to end your life. What message does that send? It screams that the lives of persons with disabilities are of less value, that their deaths through state-provided suicide are not tragedies to be prevented, their existence trivial. That is unconscionable. What we need is a right to readily available disability supports and funding, not a quick and readily available pathway to a state-funded death. Well, consider this. Canadians with disabilities are 4 times more likely to live in poverty. Accessible housing is scarce. Employment opportunities are limited. Essential supports are often out of reach. And what is the government's solution? Assisted suicide, death, instead of addressing these systemic issues. This isn't compassion, it's abandonment. People with disabilities already face discrimination in healthcare. Now they experience the reality that healthcare providers, the very people that they should trust, may see their death as a preferable outcome. The law has led people with disabilities ending their lives with so much life left to live because Canada has failed and refuses to provide the support they need? Why is it acceptable to offer death to people with disabilities instead of the assistance they need to live full, meaningful lives? There can only be one answer. They are not worthy of life. Let me be clear. We are not opposing medical assistance in dying for those at the end of their lives, what is known as MAiD Track 1. For those whose natural death is reasonably foreseeable, MAiD is already available to everyone equally. But expanding MAiD to people who are not dying solely because they have a disability under MAiD Track 2 is a profound injustice. It deprives people with disabilities of their fundamental right to life and security of the person. There is no deprivation more serious or irrevocable than causing death to someone who is not dying. People are choosing an assisted death because it's easier to access than the services they need to live. This is reprehensible, and not just a threat to persons with disabilities, but a threat to the very fabric of society that should embrace and protect us all. People with disabilities constitute a contributing and essential part of humanity, loved by family and friends, and when their lives are devalued, it threatens all of us. We envision a Canada where every person is valued, where differences are celebrated, where no one is made to feel that death is the only option. So today, we are challenging this law in court. We are asserting that offering assisted suicide solely on the basis of disability, as permitted under MAiD Track 2, is unconstitutional. We are asking the courts to protect the rights of Canadians with disabilities, to uphold our Charter of Rights and Freedoms, and to ensure that all citizens are indeed treated equally under this law. Our message is clear. The lives of people with disabilities are worth living, worth supporting, and worth protecting. We ask all Canadians to stand with us, reject this discriminatory law, demand a Canada that embodies equality, inclusion, and respect for all. And with that, I'm going to turn the podium over to Heather Walkus from the Council of Canadians with Disabilities. Heather?